Bon, d'abord, merci à tous d'être présents. Nous avons l'immense avantage et l'honneur cette année d'accueillir une délégation du Sultanat d'Oman, donc le vice-ministre des Pêches qui est présent, et également l'ambassade d'Oman à Paris en France qui a fait le déplacement jusqu'ici. Donc l'objectif, c'est vraiment cette grande délégation qui regroupe aussi des chefs d'entreprise, c'est de voir quelle relation durable et bénéfique pour les deux parties que l'on peut avoir de façon à se développer de façon harmonieuse. Voilà. Mon anglais est trop mauvais pour que je puisse traduire en anglais, mais je vais peut-être laisser Mustapha faire une petite traduction pour nos amis omanais, et puis après on va laisser le ministre présenter les pêches d'Oman, qui sont un secteur qui est tout à fait intéressant, une ressource bien gérée et un très grand projet de développement pêche et aquaculture.
Juste en fait pour compléter ce qu'a dit Maurice, c'est que la présentation va être en langue anglaise. Bien sûr, il y a beaucoup de gens qui comprennent ici l'anglais puisque c'est la langue aujourd'hui du travail de ce secteur. Mais par contre, si vous avez des questions en français et que vous n'avez pas la possibilité de la faire en anglais, je suis à votre disposition pour la traduire en arabe. Je ferai donc du français à l'arabe et je pense que je pourrais faire cet intermédiaire pour pouvoir en fait que la communication soit la plus souple possible. Et puis derrière, je dirais, son Excellence peut recevoir également les personnes qui souhaitent échanger avec lui en direct par la suite autour de questions bien plus spécifiques. Et également tous les membres de la délégation ici. Et c'est une délégation très composite, très diversifiée. Et elle se tient à votre disposition pour ceux qui souhaitent échanger avec les individus, avec les personnes de la délégation. Voilà. Et on va commencer par donc la présentation et un échange avec la salle quand vous le souhaitez.
Well, thank you very much, Maurice, Mr. Mustafa, for this introduction. We thank you very much for invitation for Oman delegation to be part as an honor guest in this very important event in Lorient. Just a brief introduction about the delegation from Oman. We thank Her Excellency Deputy Ambassador here in France for being with us, Madame Muna Al-Beiti. Also, we have the chairman of Oman and France Business Forum, Mr. Jamil Sultan. He's also supporting this business between Oman and France. Within the delegation, we have mainly the private sector, the most prestigious companies in Oman in fishing, shipyard building, processing and aquaculture industry, and added value products. Plus also we have companies, government entity who's related to this industry, from the Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, and also from ITHRA, which they are responsible about marketing about Oman at international level, and also a DOCOM authority he will give a presentation about the importance of cluster and having an industrial fishing zone in Oman as one of the models. So my presentation will highlight about the development of fisheries sector in Sultanat of Oman, and within the coming 20 minutes I'll give my presentation just to highlight, to give an idea about Oman. When we talk about Oman fisheries, is very important in terms of tradition, is part of our culture related to fisheries and also to marine as an important industry. Coastal line, we have very long coastal line, around 3,165 kilometers in different three body of water mass. We talk about the Arabian Sea. He mentioned television. So basically, we talk about the Arabian Sea, Sea of Oman, and the Arabian Gulf. In 2018, in terms of landing, based on the statistic, the landing was 553,000 metric ton. In terms of value, it's around 700 million US dollar. And in terms of employment, it provides around 60,000 job opportunities for nationals. Some figures, in fact, about the importance of fisheries in Oman. Basically, when we talk about fisheries and agriculture is very important in terms of food production sector, and important lifestyle, and very important for the economic diversification as an industry. Fishery sector considered one of the most important for non-oil source for income in Oman. And also Oman is self-efficient in terms of providing protein. We are around more than 20 kilogram per person per year in terms of consumption, and this is very good indication that within the international standard for protein consumption. Just to give you an idea about the biodiversity in Oman, it's very, very diverse. Different species we have. So we have different type of tuna, kingfish, which is the Spanish mackerel. Also we have abalone, grouper, different species of grouper and cobia, plus sea breams, shrimp, as well as lobster, and many other species such as sea cucumber, seaweed, and also ornamental fish. So it's very diverse ocean, very diverse in terms of different species available in Oman. When we talk about our fishing fleet, what type of boats we have? Small fishing boat, we talk about 23,000 of small fishing boat. When we talk about traditional fishing vessel and coastal fishing vessels, around 668, and for the coastal fishing vessels, around 150 vessels. In commercial fishing vessel, we have around 10. So the total fleet that we have in Oman is around 24,455. When we talk about commercial, it's above 30 meter. Below 30 meter, between 30 meter to 9 meters, that we consider it as coastal and traditional fleet. For small boats, it's around 9 meter length. When we talk about the infrastructure and fishing port in Oman, we have around 24 ports, fishing port, which is providing the services and as a landing site. And you can see the coastal line is very long coastal line, many landing sites, but mainly those 24 ports, they are the main hub right now. We have 1 port under construction, 9 ports under development, and 4 ports in design phase. We have a wholesale fish market and many regional fish markets, and also around 49 processing factory, which is they fulfill all the requirements to export to the international market, especially the European market. So they implement HACCP, and those 49 processing factory, they are the producer for the international market based on HACCP system. This is a photo of the central or the wholesale fish market in Oman. Is basically all the landing site. It goes to this main auction, and from this auction it goes to either to local market or even to the international and regional market. In terms of production, between 2012 up to 2018, there is an increase in total landing. In 2018, as I said, we produce around 553,000 metric ton. There is a good growth between 2012 and 2018, around 31% in terms of total landing. Between 2017 and 2018, around 60%. And that is good in terms of giving an indication that there's a growth within this industry. Total production, as I said, is around 553, but also we import. And even we import from European countries, salmon, some oysters. So there's an importation around 28,000 ton. This it goes to the local market, and then around 43% it gets exported or re-exported to the international market, and 57% it goes to the international, to the local market. Sorry, please. In terms of how much fish it goes to the European Union, in terms of quantity, around 2,384 metric ton, in value around 9 million US dollar. In terms of imports, we import around 178 ton in 2018, and in terms of value, around 5 million US dollar. This is a list of the top 7 countries that we are exporting to, mainly the GCC country, which is close by, United Arab Emirates, around 52,000 metric ton, around 82 million Omani Riyal, US dollar, sorry. In Saudi Arabia, the second, 24,000 metric ton, around 41 million US dollar. Then we have Brazil, Bangladesh, Thailand, India, and China. In some countries like Brazil, Bangladesh, Thailand, mainly it's small pelagic, it goes to this market. Next. This is the top 3 countries that we export fish to, basically to the EU countries. And Italy is number 1 in terms of quantity, around 841 metric ton. Then second, France, which goes around 423. And then Spain, which is around 710 metric ton. And I think there's a big potential to expand or to increase this quantity. And that's why most of the companies, hopefully in B2B, to meet with their partner companies in France and then explore the opportunity how we can increase this quantity of fish which it goes to France. Just to give you an idea how we manage the resource, what's the plan within the government, how we consider fisheries as an important asset to the country. So basically between 2013 and 2020, we try to upgrade the fishing fleet and also develop the infrastructure within Oman and trying to have the stakeholder skill in terms of soft skills for the stakeholder within the industry, and also manage the resource in terms of sustainability and also to meet the sustainable development goals, which is very important in that aspect to be in the agenda of Oman. Also develop fish marketing and processing and export, and also developing plus wild fisheries. We're taking care also another industry, which is the aquaculture or fish farming. Trying to create world-class competitive for fishing industry and also increase the contribution of this industry to Oman. In 2014, when the oil price dropped, it was also positive for the industry somehow, that the government focused on 5 important sectors: tourism, mining, logistic, and manufacturing, and also fisheries. So basically, within this initiative, the government tried to bring all stakeholders under one umbrella to see how can we upgrade and lift and capture value from this industry. So they set up like a lab for almost 2 months. We developed 3 important areas. One is looking at the wild fisheries, traditional and commercial, and within this mandate to increase the catch to reach by 2023 to 1.3 million metric ton. And also create jobs around 4,000 for new job opportunity by 2023, and also generate total investment from private sector around 200 million by 2023. And that generate a GDP contribution from this initiative around 730 million Omani Riyal. Trying to improve the infrastructure project to support higher landing capacity for landing ports, markets, and also develop the cold chain within this industry. The second initiative look at the aquaculture industry. How can we develop aquaculture or fish farming within Oman? And basically the idea by 2023, we can reach 100,000 metric ton from this industry. We focus on shrimp, abalone, finfish, sea cucumber, also trying to contribute to the GDP around 300 million Omani Riyal by 2023, and also create from this industry around 4,000 job opportunity. Both streams, basically they need a processing, they need a setup that can help the processing product and to grow the export. So we're trying, there's a third initiative to increase the share of added value product from 0 in 2017 to 30% by 2023, and also to have the post-harvest industry and downstream product added value, and we increase the export to the international markets. In 2000, we're trying to set up what's the vision of the country, because basically within each sector we're trying to see where we are going, where we are heading. So we appointed the World Bank to help us to build a vision for 2040, and we have the World Bank group. They look at the industry in Oman. They identify the area that we need to work on at a national level. So try to generate and improve the net economic value through better governance for fisheries resource, and also provide new opportunities for private sector investment, plus stimulate an innovation and make value chain more efficient and added value from fish product. Plus also making sure that the private sector can lead this initiative, and with time that the government can be just only a regulator rather than funding and putting an investment, direct investment within this industry. And they identify like 5 steps to reach those milestones. Basically, we look at the fishery status, define how is the status of this industry, where should we trigger or focus, and also fisheries management unit, and also engagement of the stakeholders. Very important to engage the stakeholder at the government level, plus also the private sector, and managing this resource in a sustainable way. Because basically, fisheries, you have to make sure any common resources or natural resources, if it's managed, it needs to manage in a sustainable way, and this was the advice we got from all entity, whether FAO or World Bank Group. These 4 steps will lead us to be as one of the nation meeting the international standard and be world-class profitable sector. When we talk about investment, what's the investment opportunities that we have in Oman? Basically, in wild fisheries, we talk about shipyards. We visited yesterday one of the shipyards, and we think there's a potential to have a joint venture between some of the investors from France and Oman. Also, marine construction, like ports, harbors for fishing, fleet operators, repair and maintenance, fish processing value, logistic and storage. I think it's very important element to enable the industry, fish trade and export, supply of fishing gears and equipment, and also a related industry like ice production. When it comes to aquaculture industry, we think also there's a big potential to set up fish feed, aquaculture, hatchery, supplies of technology, and I think France, they are very advanced in terms of technology. I think there's a good potential for companies from France to come and invest in this sector. And also in terms of training, we visited yesterday one of the training institute, and I think there's a good potential to have joint venture or to work with our partner in France in terms of training and enabling the fishermen or the Omani fishermen within this industry. This is one of the initiatives. Basically, we're trying to build the port, but at the support for those ports. And this morning we visited one of the port, which is, I think it's ideal in terms of having the full infrastructure as a platform. Basically in Duqom, we're setting up a new facility, and I think we'll have a full presentation from Mr. Saleh later on. Within this unit, we talk about 60 processing plant, there is storage facility, fishing port, vessel repair, especially for big vessels. It will be an aquaculture R&D within this platform. Plus also we'll have like a training facility and also quality assurance for seafood products. When we talk about aquaculture industry, we work, we think there's a good potential within this industry. So basically economic and technical studies been done to qualify Oman to be a leading country in terms of aquaculture. As I said, we are a marine nation, so in wild is well known. The fish, when it goes to international market or GCC market, it comes as Omani product. It got very good reputation. So we're trying to capture that, and we develop an industry in a sustainable way for aquaculture industry. We're trying to reach 200,000 metric ton by 2040, and also trying to have an increase per year around 15%. We look at other countries' model like Latin America, we look in Chile, Greek, Turkish, Norway, and Egypt. And I think it's doable, possible, trying to avoid the challenge or the challenge they face while they're developing their industry. So trying to capture that value from those countries. Also, what we did in 2017 when we start this initiative, we have a support from FAO to see what's the best practice for this industry. How can we develop aquaculture industry in Oman? So we hired FAO to help us with that aspect. Also, we look at the sites, what's the suitable site and what species, what's the requirement for each site and what type of business it can be set up in each area. And also we put like a regulation, bylaw, and also investment guidelines for this industry. So the investor, he will be able to set up his business in well-regulated industry when we talk about aquaculture, plus also making sure it works in a sustainable way. Basically, we talk about offshore cage, coastal ponds, RAS technology or recirculated system, which is very common now. Many countries, even Norway, the salmon, it used to be the farm at the sea, but now they're trying to bring RAS technology and also the offshore long line. So this is something which is, we're thinking that there's a good potential for Oman to start the investment in. This just to give you a feeling about the coastal line. So when we did the mapping for the north part of Oman, we think it's good for cage farming and also for RAS technology. When we talk about the south part or the middle part in Oman, it's good for shrimp farms because there is a good space, good lands, and also the south part is good for RAS technology for certain species. This is just to give you an idea about the suitable species for aquaculture in Oman: grouper or sea bream, sea bass, tuna ranching, sea cucumber, and also oyster, ornamental fish, shrimp, and abalone, which is very unique species in Oman, plus also seaweed and microalgae. And I think we noticed during our visit that France is very advanced in terms of oyster and also seaweed industry. This is ongoing projects. One in the north part of Oman, it's cage farming. It's around 3,000 metric ton, 32 cage. It's already on production. Hopefully they reach more than 1,000 ton by this year. And also one shrimp farm, which is in the middle part of Oman. And this area, which is promising for shrimp farming. Both species, like shrimp, we have Indicus, Monodon, and Vanami, and this is well known to international market for fish farming. Just to give you a feeling about the projects or the application and the project that we have in terms of shrimp, we have 7 projects, 2 projects under construction, some of them in advanced stage. Marine cages, around 4 projects. For closed RAS technology, we have abalone. This is a partnership between Oman and one South African company. It's called Apagold. They're already in advanced stage also in terms of the construction for abalone. For grouper, sea cucumber, also there's one initiative, one project going on for sea cucumber. And for salmon, we have one international investor from Norway. They're also setting up a farm for salmon. And also there's one for shrimp hatchery. We expect the investment around 987 million US dollar, Omani Riyal, in terms of expected production around 200,000 metric ton. The investment opportunity in Oman, basically we talk about shrimp. As I said, there's 3 main species. We are keen when we talk about aquaculture industry to use the local species, because very important that in terms of sustainability to use the local species. So Indicus, Monodon, and Vanami, those species. In terms of finfish cages, abalone, different type of mollusks and crustacean, fish feed for aquaculture, hatcheries, and also supply of technology. I think there's a very good opportunity also to have that technology transfer, knowledge transfer, supply of nets, and also consultancy in this industry. Just to give you also about the investment incentive, I think this may be another presentation just to give you an idea about the business environment in Oman. Just to highlight, there is no income tax for on personal income. Also, in terms of movement of capital and profit, there's no restriction. 70% of foreign ownership, which may be increased. Sometimes we allow even up to 100% for foreign investment to come and do investment in Oman. And also, in terms of tax, it's very low compared to other European countries. We talk about 15%. And also, in terms of no duty for manufacturers. So any equipments which comes to Oman related to set up an industry in aquaculture or fish, usually there is no custom in that. Also, in terms of soft loan, basically we support the investors to get soft loan from Oman Development Bank and other banks or local banks at the national level. What Oman provide for investors in aquaculture, which we, as I mentioned, the incentives, plus also we have one-stop shop, basically for you as investor, you come to Oman, we help you and provide all the, or we deal locally with all other entities. So basically you deal with one place, which is at the ministry level. We call it the one-stop shop for aquaculture industry. Any required information for business or EIA studies, as I mentioned, about soft loan and technical support during the phase of the project that to enable the investor or provide them with good environment for that business. What the Oman want from the investor, basically, when we talk about investment in Oman, we are keen to have a good commitment. And we look at it as a partnership, that good commitment, or that investment, it needs to have the sustainability element in it, and also the quality of the commitment. You have to have that ownership that you're setting this business, and it's a long-term business, plus also to provide job opportunity for Omani and commitment, social responsibility that the project can provide job opportunity for the local, plus also involving the local community in terms of giving them a chance to work or even to have certain contract with SMEs. This are some of the publication that we have outside, so please feel free if you need any copy or you need any contact, plus also some leaflets about the companies who joined us in this visit for the last 3 days. So those also there's at the entrance, there's some leaflet, which is please feel free to have a copy. Also feel free to have the website and business card for any further communication or any detailed information that you need from us. We can share it with you. We thank you very much, basically, for your listening, and I will move to the second presentation from Mr. Saleh.
I think we have a limited time. Good afternoon first. We have a limited time, and what I need to highlight that this is the, I'm going to talk about Special Economic Zone Authority. It's a new zone established by government of Oman, and this is, inshallah, is planned to be the economic hub of the country. We'll go to the, I think some of the slides, we'll skip some of slides, but we'll go to the incentives. No, go. For the, up. Okay. Oh, up again. Okay. This is the location of the Special Economic Zone Authority. You see how it is strategic. Actually, it's not meant for only fish processing industry. We're talking about so many clusters there. Oil and gas, tourism, and fish processing also. So one of the main target here is to establish main fish processing zone in Duqm. As Duqm here, you can see it's on the international maritime trade routes. So we are connecting all the maritime trade, shipping trades also between all these countries, especially for the trade in the Arabian Sea and Indian Ocean. So it's a very strategic location for even fish processing industries and fishing ports. This is the total area of the zone. We are talking about 2,000 square kilometers of the zone. The fishery harbor and the fish processing industry is part of it. We have a coastal line of the 19 kilometers. So We believe that this will be very important coastline for fishing and importing also fish, plus also the fishing activities there. So this is, as His Excellency already mentioned, about the Dokum and the Dokum fishing industry zone. Now we have a port under construction, which is the depth of the port is minus 10 meters, with breakwaters and all operation and management facilities. Beside to that, we have a zone. We'll have all facilities and also utilities, services, infrastructure there. So, the coming slide, please, is showing you the location of the fishery harbor on the top, and also the fishing processing zone, which is in the red color, red line. All expected that most of the fish will be imported through the port, are to be landed and transport direct to the fishing processing area, and then to be used for the area in terms of any products produced. This is some of the business we are expecting actually to have it there. Fish meals, also aquaculture, aqua food, and there is a long list of the business fishing related industry, which is also we are coordinating with Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries regarding the type of businesses also can be there. And this is also some of the also intended business in the zone. Actually, we are here welcoming all the investors from France to invest in the zone, with the incentives already been mentioned by His Excellency regarding for example, 100% ownership of the capital, no customs duty, and so many incentives that the zone is offering. So at the end, I think I would like to thank you, because we have to move fast. And we are ready to answer any question from your side if you have any question in mind. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. We'll talk about ITHRA, which is the Public Authority for Investment Promotion and Export Development. What we do is we promote investment to the country. Those who are interested to understand more about Oman's market, more about our opportunities, they can visit ITHRA and be introduced to the Omani market. From the other side, we enhance our exports, our non-oil Omani exports to different destinations. We work on reaching these products to different markets and open further opportunities for Omani exporters. I will speak just briefly about what we do in the organization. This is an economic overview of the country. We have a population of 4.6 million according to 2017, and GDP of 27.2 billion, while the FDI is 8,096.7 million. Some of the numbers according to the World Bank, we are the 9th tourism safety and security according to the World Bank. Also the 18th business environment, and the 16th fastest growing tourism destination according to the United Nations. Some of our incentive reasons, or the trade agreements, we have the WTO and the common GCC markets, which consist of incentives shared within the neighbor countries, which are 6 countries. Also, we have FTAs with the United States, Singapore, Ireland, Norway, Switzerland. Some of the incentives which have been mentioned previously with my colleagues, we have 70% ownership. Currently, it will be turned to 100% ownership within conditions, of course. Free repatriation on profit and capital. Who would like to transfer the profit to different markets from a bank to a bank? There is a 0 income tax on it. plus currently we have 15% corporate tax and zero income tax. The sectors we will be focusing on, or we are currently focusing on, are 5 main sectors. The first is manufacturing, logistics, tourism. We have mining and fisheries. These sectors are expected to be increasing in FDI. We invite FDIs on these sectors, plus domestically and internationally. We believe that these sectors will be potential sectors for those who will be working in Oman and within the area, either in terms of investment or in terms of export. The location of Oman. Location. Yeah, I'll just explain finally the map. We have on the north of Oman, we have Sohar, which has a port, a free zone, an industrial estate, which connects Oman with the north side. Usually they use Sohar for those who are interested to export to the GCC countries or to further destinations in the north. We have the Duqm, which Mr. Saleh spoke about. It has a free zone, one of the largest free zones in the area, a port and an international airport. Then we have Salalah. Salalah is a free zone, has a free zone, an industrial estate, port, and international flights. The services we provide at ITHRA, those who are interested to know more about information about Oman's market, would like to know more facts and figures, they can approach ITHRA and they can get connected with the Omani information and possibilities. Then we advise the investors, and when they provide us their proposals, we review these proposals and go into discussion with them. We arrange visit programs for those who are interested to come to Oman and know more about the market. Investors with the high potential and added value would like to come and know more about Oman. They are most welcome and to approach ITHRA, and they would arrange for them all the visit program. We do the commercial registration along with Al Duqm, and we use an Invest Easy system, which is a system utilized by the Ministry of Commerce. We register companies in-house, companies, of course, with an added value to the economy. Identify partners, projects which needs a partner in the market, local partner or international partner. They can send us their proposal, and we can seek for those who are interested to enter to the same project. This was a brief presentation about ITHRA, the services we provide, an overview about the market. Thank you for listening.
Well, thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions, we are happy to answer.
Your Excellency, thank you very much for that very interesting presentation. I've got a question which is maybe more specific for foreign investors and French investors into Oman in particular. Could you tell us a little bit whether investing into Oman will give it a gateway to access a market in the Arabian Gulf area, and how they could do that starting from Oman? Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for the question. In terms of setting up a business in Oman, then definitely you have an access to all other GCC market and even the region. So basically, if you set up a company, we consider it as a local company, or they have as registered in Oman, then you have the right to have access to all GCC market as well. If that's we apologize, we don't see the light, so it's please just make sure you raise your hand well so we can see if there's any other question. Well, I think a good sign that the presentation was very clear. We thank you very much for your attending this event. We extend also our thanks to... Any question there? Or yes, please.
Hi, sir. Many thanks for your presentation. And I have a question to know. I would like to know what kind of vessels you have in your country, and what is also the national fleet. What kind of vessels do you have? Trawlers, what size are they? And bersiners, what kind of fishing do you have? Thank you.
We're in terms of international, for commercial industry, recently we opened, for longliners, purseaners. We only banned trawlers in Oman. It's not allowed for trawling, but for purseaners and longliners, it's open. So we are happy if any investors, they want to partner with some of the companies. Some of them, they have already partners, local and international partners. So basically there's a joint venture in terms of setting up a commercial fishing fleet in Oman. So that's allowed. And again, as I mentioned, when we talk about commercial, usually it's above 30 meter in terms of total length. We give special zone, so basically for commercial fleet, usually there is a special zone to protect the artisanal fisheries, but there is a special zone for the international or commercial fishing fleet. As well as we also supportive for the commercial fleet within the region. So basically the company, you set up a company within the region, and I think France is very active in terms of commercial fishing in the Indian Ocean. So sometimes you can even help that company to set up business in Oman, to go into joint venture, not only in the Omani water, but also in the neighboring country at certain agreement. Well, thank you very much again. Thank you, Maurice, for your kind invitation. You took good care of us for the last 3 days. So on my behalf, the Oman delegation, we thank you. We thank also your team that they are with us for the last 3 days. We are honored to be as an honor guest in this event. Hopefully in the B2B meeting that there's a business opportunity that we can follow. From government prospect, we are very supportive for those B2B meetings or any initiatives to either, provide you with the information or whatever requirements from the government side. Thank you very much.